Chicago Fire Season 14 Episode 1 Recap. Why is Stella skeptical about Saul Vasquez? Adulthood movie ending explained and full story. Who kills Bodie? Chicago Fire is back for its 14th season, and if the first episode is anything to go by, they're off to a pretty solid start. One of the three crown jewels of the Chicago franchise, the show, primarily focused on firefighters and paramedics, has been winning hearts for more than a decade thanks to being a perfect cocktail of thrill, action, drama, and romance. And this season is going to be no exception, for sure. Let's run through everything that happens in the opening episode of this fresh new season. Spoilers ahead. What happens in the episode? It begins pretty dark. While last season ended with Stella being pregnant, this season opens with the bad news that it was, after all, a false alarm. However, the doctor, Dr. Simmons, assures her that she might still get pregnant, as she's perfectly alright, health-wise. Stella is understandably heartbroken, but Kelly is there to support her, no matter what. Meanwhile, a big decision is taken at an important meeting at the CFD. Firefighter Saul Vasquez, we get to know the name later, who has a really bad reputation, is being assigned to Firehouse 51. Chief Pascal is present at the meeting, and he asks if he has any say in it. We don't find the answer, but it's a given that Saul is coming to join our beloved group. Meet the new guy. Saul Vasquez might be a lot of things, but he also turns out to be a damn good driver. On his first day at the new job, Saul impresses everyone with his impeccable, if a bit reckless, driving skills, when the team has to deal with a burning car on the road. The burning car leads to a gas station mishap, where a woman gets heavily injured after fighting two attackers. One of the attackers appears to be burnt to a crisp with no life left in him, while the other is caught by Kelly after a chase. That's the job of the police, who arrive late at the site, after our lieutenant has already saved the day. Back at the office, Darren, Violet, and Lizzie discuss Saul. Darren is mighty pleased with the new guy's driving, while Lizzie Novak seems to be kind of taken with him. The guy does have a kind of aura around him, you've got to admit as much. Meanwhile, Violet still seems to be working around the heartbreak she suffered last season. Anyway, not everyone seems to be okay with how Vasquez is handling things. Stella is visibly mad at him for his insubordination, and she warns Vasquez to not ever do it again. The guy does promise he won't, but his attitude is all "I got the job done. Why are you questioning me?" which irritates Stella. However, during their second mission of the day, Vasquez saves Stella from getting shot by a few thugs. In the process, he injures his stomach, which he hides from everyone, and stitches the deep injury all by himself. Later though, we do see Vasquez asking for help from Lizzie. This may be an indication of a budding romance brewing between the two of them, eventually. Why is Chris Herman not moving out of his lieutenant quarters? There's no doubt that Chris Herman is an important figure in the Firehouse 51 setup, but the man seems to not be willing to let go of his lieutenant quarters and the office space, even after becoming a chief. That has put our newly promoted Lieutenant Randall in a difficult position, as he doesn't get to his own office. This is a simultaneously moving and comical arc, where Herman is unable to let things go, and Randall doesn't have the heart to sternly ask him to move out. Joe tries meddling and tries to find a solution, which seems to work by the end of the episode. While Herman still doesn't want to leave, he proposes to Randall that they share the space in between. Randall agrees, and for the time being, the matter is sorted. Firehouse 51 faces a crisis during the first case, the burning car. The police seem to be coming late, and during the second one, Stella almost getting shot, they don't even show up. This bothers the whole of Firehouse 51, and the situation only escalates when Violet finds out that 49% of 911 calls are going unanswered. That's a big problem for everyone, and it's only natural for Chief Pascal to be concerned. The trouble intensifies when Pascal has a meeting with the mayor's chief of staff, Annette Davis, who explains how bad things are, as a result of which a lot of units are going to be shut down. Firehouse 51 stays afloat, but now they've to work longer hours to fight the crisis. The same applies for the paramedics as well. While the situation is dire, Pascal seems to have confidence about his team, as they are the best, according to him. In the upcoming weeks, we will see how badly this crisis is affecting Firehouse 51. Darren has a personal crisis to deal with. In case you don't know yet, this is actor Daniel Curry's last season on the show, as he has already bid them farewell. That's a big loss for sure, as Darren is one of the most beloved characters of the show, who is loved by all. In this episode, we see Darren getting a bit worked up about Dwayne, who's not responding to his text. Darren believes the policeman is the one for him, and Dwayne ghosting him makes him pretty anxious. Only later does he find out Dwayne has been shot in New York and is fighting for his life. Darren leaves immediately to be with him, and thankfully, Dwayne seems to be okay by the end of the episode. Why is Stella skeptical about Saul Vasquez? Despite Vasquez practically saving her life, Stella appears to be skeptical about the new guy on her team. In her defense, she has her reasons too, considering what she finds out about the guy after a background check. Vasquez has been bouncing around different firehouses, and he has a big attitude problem. Before trying out his luck with the fire department, the guy spent his time in the police academy as well. That did come in handy though, as it was his intuition that saved Stella. But Stella is concerned about having someone like that working for her. However, when she takes it to Pascal, the chief is quite adamant about keeping Vasquez around. In fact, he asks Stella to be responsible for him and straighten him out, as Firehouse 51 is Vasquez's last chance with the CFD. Is there something Pascal is not saying? Stella and we both think so. On a personal front, Stella is still dealing with the tragedy of not having a baby. Kelly is trying to be there for her, but things have gotten a bit difficult between the two of them. However, the end of the episode suggests that it might change for Stella and Kelly, as they now have an opportunity to foster a teenage boy. Terry brings the offer to them, and I'm quite certain the couple is going to accept it. Will that help Stella emotionally? Time will tell, but I'm positive. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.